I'm a sucker for some good motivation, you know. If I'm just being lazy, jerking off all day, doing absolutely nothing, I'll throw up a video of a guy yelling at me, telling me how useless I am and how I'll never satisfy a woman, and that'll typically get me up and going to do something productive for the rest of that day. But reflecting back on what I just said, hearing myself say that out loud, I sound like an absolute lunatic saying that. I should be locked up in Arkham Asylum and they should throw away the key. Back on track though to my questionable motivational taste, eventually after watching enough grown men yell at me, I stumbled across this guy named Gary Vaynerchuk, better known as Gary V. I just wanted to say his full name to sound like his mother. And ever since I first saw Gary V, I'd always thought that he was this very wacky and weird character, but that's not very out of the blue when it comes to the motivational speaking world. They're all very over the top and outgoing, like Sesame Street characters who use swear words a lot. They use cuss words like commas. And basically what I've been trying to get at with this intro is that we're going to be looking at some of Gary V's best moments together.
I literally want to die instead of fail. Die. Death. Over. I do not know how to live in life. I do not know how to live in life. Live in life with an L in business on my resume. You should take defeat personally, period.
You heard the man. If you find yourself failing at anything in life, whether it be big or small, go ahead and whip out your grandfather's double barrel and find a nice resting place for it right in your mouth. That was a joke.
Yeah, okay, so we made progress on that, but it's going slower than I'd like. We've only made a couple $1,000s.
Only made a couple thousand. Oh my God.
Punch him.
Only made a couple thousand? Come on, bruh. How much did you have before?
0.
Gary V hates seeing people complain about not making enough money. If you're making $1,000 a month on a business, that's good enough. Just settle. Don't ever try to make more money. If you're making $1 a year off your business, that's good enough. If you ever complain about your business not making enough money, you better be prepared to get socked right in the face by Gary V himself. He doesn't tolerate complaining. Complaining equals assault.
I'm gonna make Monday morning my bitch. I'm gonna make you Saturday Monday morning. That's what I want to do every morning, and that's what I want from you.
That sounds like something the Riddler would say to Batman. How can you make a Monday a Saturday? Is Gary V messing with the Mayan calendar? Is he secretly God? I think so. But I've been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia recently, and doesn't Gary V sound exactly like Charlie from that show? I wonder if he drinks paint as well. With some of the ideas and ideologies that this guy's coming up with and living by, it makes me think that he might just be huffing whatever Charlie's been huffing on that show.
Who do you love the most in the world?
My
Here we go.
family.
Good. Who in your family? Pick one.
All of them.
You're very politically correct. Cool. Every day, like literally once a day, genuinely sit there for 5 minutes and make pretend one of them got shot in the face. I'm being dead serious with you. Every single day.
Dead serious. Does he look like he's joking?
Almost, I said this today earlier, I probably once a week to 4 times a week sit there truly in the shower, on a flight, when I wake up. Some people meditate, right? Some people work out, right? To deal with whatever anxieties or thoughts they have. I actually sit and truly try to convince myself that I have lost one of the 5 most important people in my life, and that is the biggest thing I do that leads to the biggest happiness I have.
Dear God, that is psychotic. That's absolutely mental. That's... What? I remember the first time I heard this, I was shell-shocked in utter disbelief. What is this method, man? This is very similar to what that Eddie Hall guy did for his 1,000-pound deadlift. He had to like go through this therapy type of thing to train himself to think that his family was trapped underneath the car, and the weight he was picking up, the 1,000 pounds he was deadlifting, was that car he was having to pick up off his family. But this guy is taking it to a whole nother level. He's doing this 1 to 4 times a week. Whenever he can think about it, he thinks about his family dying, getting shot in the face, not even just dying, just brutally being, their head exploding like a watermelon. And the angle he's trying to get at, he's saying that it makes you practice gratitude, you know, be thankful for them while they're here before they get shot in the face and die. But there's so many better ways to be grateful for stuff, you know, like meditation, like he said, is way better than envisioning them getting shot in the face. Like, come on. There's so many things you could do before getting to that step of envisioning them dying in a very brutal way. Like, why does it have to be getting shot in the face? Why not just passing away peacefully in their sleep or something? Like, oh, I'm going to envision them drowning in quicksand or getting their head bit off by an alligator. I'm going to envision them dying in one of the most brutal way possible. Because that helps me be grateful. I thought my taste in motivation was pretty crazy, but that guy, he's insanity personified.
You know what I think is a better advantage than being born into something? Being born into nothing. I'm on the record. Remember I said it. Can't wait to watch it in 20 years. The internet, the way it is today, I'd rather have 0 than 100 million. People that have 0 are like, this guy's an idiot. That's because you don't talk to trust fund babies. I do. I talk to trust fund babies. They DM me. I meet them in real life because of my business career. They're sad. Do you know what it's like to talk to a human being that looks at you at 22 years old and says, no matter what I do for the next 80 years, it will never be my own accomplishment. Everybody will always say I was handed it and I'm done. You know what kind of level of depression, cocaine, and partying until you die that leads to? A lot.
Oh my god, I gotta unpack this step by step. He just said a lot in this video. I just don't know how he comes up with this stuff and says it like he's so confident in saying this, like he believes this is how you should live. He thinks being born with nothing in today's internet age is better than being born with 100 million. First off, if you're born with nothing in this internet age, how are you going to access the internet? You're not going to have money for a phone or a computer or internet access. Like, what are you going to do? You're just going to sit there and twiddle your thumbs until a phone pops up in your hand and you can tweet out your NFT drop? Like, what are you talking about? Any day of the week, being born with a silver spoon up your anus is way better than being born with nothing. Even if they say it's not your own accomplishment, or, oh, that's daddy's money, you're daddy's little boy, that's daddy's Lamborghini. Yeah, it is daddy's Lamborghini, but look at you over there in your cardboard box. You have to drive your car like the Flintstones because you have 0 money. I have 100 million. It's not mine, but I have access to it, so I can use it. And also, I don't know where the partying and cocaine and depression comes from between that. I feel like having $100 million does not lead to cocaine, partying, and drug addiction and depression. Definitely not. You know, you might get a little bit down in the dumps if someone just screams daddy's money at you, but then you can look down on them in your high castle and say, oh, look at the peasants of my domain. If anything, you're going to get bullied more if you have no money in today's world, because they clown you for not having like Gucci and Prada and Bape in middle school. Like that's ridiculous.
I swallow every piece of gum. What? I've swallowed every piece of gum that I've ever chewed in my life. I don't think it's cool or anything. I don't think it's fucking amazing. It's just the truth. I think it's efficiency. I don't think I want to give up the 100th of a second putting in a napkin. Just swallow that shit.
I feel like it takes more time to swallow the gum than it would to spit it out and throw it in the garbage can. I have trouble when I used to try to swallow gum just because I thought it'd be cool to have it sit there for 7 years, even though he said in his caption right there, it's a myth, gum does not stay in your stomach for 7 years. I still used to try to swallow it anyways, and it took me a while to get it down. I don't know if that was just me being a little baby, but a thousandth of a second is not that big of a deal, really. I agree with this comment. He just be saying stuff. That's really all it is. He just loves hearing himself speak. Therefore, he does not shut up about anything and everything. I swallow every piece of gum to save a thousandth of a second. Like, what is that going to do? It doesn't even let you really blink in that amount of time. And here's something that'll blow them panties right off. Gary V is a big advocate for NFTs. He loves NFTs. He is absolutely in love with the NFT world and the NFT community. I've seen him talking to like Logan Paul. He's in cahoots with these big influencers and stuff, getting them into the NFT world. And who would have thought a guy like Gary V is into NFTs? One thing that's very common with Gary V, though, is that he hops on every newest trend so he can, I guess, try to take credit for it or try to get the most out of it, which I guess there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but he's any new trend like the Dogecoin stuff, the NFTs, he'll be on top of that wave surfing it, and you'll see him flapping his hair in the wind while he's like the poster boy for each one of these things. And naturally, when you have someone as crazy and out there as Gary V, you'll have some people who follow in his footsteps and try to copy him, be his shadow or whatever. And this person right here said, who needs a 12.5 book by Gary V? Follow/DM. They bought like an entire pallet of Gary V's books to try to resell them at presumably a higher price, like they're hoarding PlayStation 5s or something. And of course, this guy's name is NFT Enjoyer, so you can probably gauge who his audience is, his diehard stan audience. I would imagine those books flew off the shelf, though, at a very high markup. That's a business Grindset right there. Gary V would be proud of that mindset, that mentality to make money.
How much for the cars?
They're all a quarter piece.
What if I took the 2 buckets?
I like to keep the buckets. I'll put them in the bag.
No worries, you can keep the buckets.
Would you do 20 for both?
No, I don't think so. Go 15?
Yeah,
In the middle? All right. I'm just predicting just these 2. Out of the trillion, I literally bought like 200 Matchbox Hot Wheels collectible cars for $15, and I looked up one so far. This one.
$11. But that's been one of Gary V's new kicks, one of his new things he's been doing on his YouTube channel is going to garage sales, finding very weird things like Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars, looking them up on eBay, and then trying to sell them for whatever someone has them up on eBay as. He's like guessing and estimating at the prices and saying he's going to get this money out of it. Like he always says this is what the estimated price is for this product, but he never actually shows himself selling these things. So my guess is he's never made a profit off this stuff yet. I just think it's kind of weird also how he's trying to lowball these people for cents on the dollar, literal pennies and dimes and dollars. He's trying to get the best deal possible for things like Hot Wheels. Like, is this how you make all your money, Gary V? Is this how you make your millions of dollars buying Hot Wheels and reselling them on eBay? I'm 100% sure all of those listings that you put up on eBay, they're never going to sell, because who is buying Hot Wheels cars? Who's going on eBay and randomly paying $11 for a minivan?
The Jordan poster worth a fortune up there. I might have to buy this one. How much is this poster? 5? Would you do 3? Cool. I can't believe I'm fucking buying this thing. Son of a bitch, I'm so pissed right now. Why? Because I grew up a humongous Knicks fan, and the prime years of the best Knicks years in the 90s, Michael Jordan stopped me from winning a championship. I don't even want to touch it. Lou, can you come here and get it? I didn't want to grab it, but I had to get it. Business is business. Guys, I'm not proud of it, but I had to buy this vintage Jordan, massively huge poster. I mean, I paid $3. It's probably worth $100 in like a cool Soho store.
Now that one just doesn't make any sense. He does this every time though. It just makes me mad. I wanted to show you another example of him going to a garage sale because he lowballs them every time. They're like, $5 for this cool looking Jordan poster. That's definitely not worth $100, by the way. That thing might resell for $6, maybe double the profit. Let's go, Gary V. 2 times on that $3, baby. But I just hate how he lowballs people. That's what I'm getting at here. He'll always try to get lower. He never agrees on the price that they set, even though the price they give is very fair. $5 for any kind of poster, that's a pretty fair deal. And he goes, nah, I can't do $5. $3? What about 3? $3 is my budget. That's my max. I can't go anymore. It's $3. Take it or leave it, man. He has this like business hustle Grindset that he always has to get the best deal possible, even if it doesn't make much of a difference, because it's stupid. At the end of the day, this garage sale stuff is just not working in any way. Like, he's definitely losing money on this stuff. I guess he's doing it to try to prove you can make money with garage sales, but once again, you have to be able to sell the stuff. It doesn't matter if you're buying it for less than what it's worth if you can't sell it. You have to be able to sell the product to be able to make money on said product. Which, once again, I don't believe he's ever showed evidence of him selling any one of these things he buys at a garage sale. My guess is that he buys this stuff and just kind of like throws it out in the ocean or something. But that's all the Gary V we're going to be looking at today. I think that's more than enough Gary V for one setting. You definitely know roughly how the guy acts now and his mentality, his grind sets. So remember, if you go to a garage sale, always lowball the person. Even if it's for $1 or $2, you got to get that best deal. Grind set mindset, baby! And I'll see you next time. Peace out. Always got to start each video off with the caffeine addiction. Oh my god, it's like a shot of heroin each drink, man.